Round one, we gotta keep. This hand actually seems fine. No red mana, but hopefully we'll find one. Alright. Thankfully, most of our deck is creatures. Let's go Swing and Orchard Spirit. Alright. I think it's theoretically possible to play 2 spells in one turn. Dragon Fodder costs extra, so might be in our best interest to play the Cobble Brute. Could also do the Sergeant. Cobble Brute makes better use of the mana. Alright. No attacks that time. That's interesting. Alright. So I can play 2 spells this turn. I think we just play Elite plus Orchard Spirit and then pass. Although, no, Elite plus Sergeant's better, isn't it? Not going to swing with the Cobble Brute. Alright. So I got Vasud Gorger online. I think the swing is going to be... So I swing with everything. He goes Oromancer, Cobble Brute, probably Wingmare, Orchard Spirit. Maybe I should just be okay with that trade, because I'm following up the Gorger, and then my 1/1s can connect too. Yeah, I think we swing everything here. He gets a little bit of value, but ultimately I think it's worth it. We're going to be left with dudes. He pretty much has to make this trade. Alright. Can't make any more plays. Guess we go Force Mage, Orchard Spirit. Alright. So basically just out-muscled our opponent there. Drew pretty well, and opponent just looked like banked a little bit too hard on removal that just turned out to be a little bit too slow for him. Lightning Javelin and Suppression Bonds couldn't keep up with our cheapish guys. But it seems like we can call the full moon reasonably well. Guess Oromancer does bring that back though, so there's a little bit of synergy there. We don't have much in the sideboard department, do we? We can do Aerial Volley. Pretty speculative based on one flyer. I think I want to see a couple more flyers before I do that, but other than that, we really don't have much of a sideboard plan, so I think we're just going to keep the rest the same. Alright, game 2. This is a keep. I mean, we need lands to play anything, and preferably a red land first, but I still think it's worth a keep. This hand gets really good if we draw some lands. Alright, next turn's an important one. Well, we hit the land, so that's the good news. Guess we start with the Recluse. Alright. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. This game seems really eerily familiar, by the way. Alright, well, guess we're going to be telegraphing a Titanic Growth. Alright, well, now we're pretty much toast, but not much to be done about it. I also don't like that my opponent had to overpay for both of those and is having no problem doing so. If I had one more land, I could go Orchard Spirit, Titanic Growth. Guess we just swing. Alright, looks like we lose. So, hopefully we draw a little bit better in game 3. And still not going to bring in Aerial Volley. I don't think it's a good option. We saw one flyer once again that it's worth. Other than that, we just saw ground guys. So, yep, just got to draw better. That's all we got. That's all we can do. Alright, this hand's fine. All right. Gonna rapidly lose some confidence here if we don't stop drawing lands now. We can play everything in the deck, so unfortunately, how many land draws have we had? Only 2 so far? Or has it been 3? I can't remember. I think it's been 3, though. Yeah, it's been 3. And I don't even have enough to block, which is really disappointing here. It means if I'd played the Orchard Spirit, I would have been able to. Yeah, it's just not good. So take entirely too much damage pretty unhappily here, and hope to draw my way back in this game, which would include a cheap spell. Alright, so now I just wait till next turn, and I go Visionary Orchard Spirit. Can't even attack into that, which is pretty disappointing. Murder investigation too. Alright, well, I would say a Taupe and Freeblade did its job. Shrouding Mist, we're going to get blown out by that. That's a bummer. No way to play around it, quite obviously. Yeah, I think we're just going to get blown out by Enshrouding Mist. Just allow that. Or not. Well, Elemental seems good here. Then we'll swing at the Visionary. Not the Recluse, though. Alright. At least I've got the blocks for that. Let's go Empath pre-combat. I want to see what's coming up here. Bottom that, top this. If I swing with Elemental, he double blocks. I trade it for a Battle Priest. I don't love that, but he could also Suppression Bond my Recluse, so I think I will actually swing with Elemental here. I'm going to have to trade it for a Battle Priest, which I don't love, but it's only if he double blocks. I feel like getting in damage right now is kind of important for us. He's at a healthy enough life total where he might just want to take it. Alright. Decided not to, so much rather kill the Battle Priest rather than give him some tokens. Actually, a little bit disappointed he blocked, but it was a good choice on his part. And I think getting rid of the flyer when we know he's running suppression bonds and we only have a recluse as protection seems like the right idea. Well, he's only got one card left, which is good. So I can play Elemental, I can swing with... I can also just swing with Sergeant. He probably blocks with 3/3. Could also swing with the Empath. And then play Chandra's Fury. He's only got one card left. He gets 1/1s. Could also play the Elemental, wait a turn, and then swing with all three, but then I think he still gets to block there. I think we swing Empath, Sergeant, and Chandra's Fury when he blocks. I'd rather Chandra's Fury after he gets the 1/1 soldiers, but 1/1s aren't like super detrimental to us at the moment. We'll let first strike damage happen. Alright, so he ended up pretty good out of that, but not amazing. We got rid of 2 Topin Freeblades. We only have to deal with 3 1/1 soldiers. We've got a Recluse, we've got a Visionary, we've got a Fire Fiend Elemental. I really don't want to attack an Elemental into 2 soldiers. I think we just swing with Recluse and Sergeant. Alright, it's a big bummer, but can't do anything about it. Alright, Chandra's Fury looks about 10 to 12,000 times better now, but that's too bad. At least our Recluse holds back some stuff. Foundry's a good draw. Okay. Thank God for Foundry of the consoles. I don't even have a good swing with Fire Fiend Elemental anymore. And I don't want to actually lose my Visionary either. Alright. Guess I didn't have to do that during his combat step, but whatever. I think we are going to trade a Thopter for a Thopter here. Titanic Growth's fine. That's a good one. So now we can Titanic Growth plus Trample. Let that resolve. Got Renown too, so that's pretty good. At least now it trades with... actually, no, it can straight up attack into heavy infantry. And next turn I can attack with Somber World Alpha too, so that's pretty good actually. Let's see. If I attack with these three, maybe I attack with Visionary too. Because he doesn't really have a great block for that anyway. Might let us push some damage through. Maybe he goes Infantry Soldier on Elemental to kill, or no, it's whenever it gets blocked. So yeah, I think we actually swing with all these. Okay. Alright, Bogger Brute's pretty good. Let's, guess I can swing Elemental Thopter. He can trade a Brute for an Elemental. Could also just leave the Elemental back for Chandra's Ignition. Just swing with Thopter, play Orchard Spirit, pass. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I actually don't want to offer the trade with the Bogger Brute, I don't think. I kind of don't love that trade. Wow. We definitely outdrew our opponent there in the mid to late game, which was essential for the victory there because he dominated us early with that Free Blade Call the Full Moon. Although Murder Investigation was pretty sketchy. He did net him some soldiers, but he was actually running a couple sketchy cards. The Murder Investigation and the Heavy Infantry for sure were sketchy, but the rest of his deck was very good and aggressive, and Call the Full Moon in Game 2 just wrecked our day. And Game 3, we were pretty fortunate to draw that 2-drop and have the 3-drop and be able to survive long enough because we took a hell of a beating early on and managed to just stabilize and come back via Hitchclaw Recluse, which did a bunch of work for us, and just actually drawing some solid stuff. Like Foundry was essential, I think, to our victory here. Somberweld Alpha, absolutely essential. So we had some actual essential cards this game that really came up huge, and we're very fortunate for that. We didn't get to see Chandra's ignition once, but I guess that's nice. We didn't have to see it to win. All right, we'll see you in round 2.